Alright, so made it back home with all 12 tractors. It was a long ride back home, multiple tire blowouts. It's never as fun coming back home as it is going, it seems like, but made it. So 12 tractors, an extra hood for another tractor I have, a bunch of seats for these tractors, and then a set of egg tires, some engines, this cool little tiny engine, Sears rear end, front egg tires, horizontal shaft hydro. But I think I'm going to start with the Suburban 12, and then I'm going to work my way around to the David Bradleys and kind of, go through all of them and kind of see what's going on. So this first one is a 1972 Suburban 12. I already have 2 of these, so I guess I have 3 now. So my plan is with this one, assuming I can save that engine, which it does seem like it turns. So we'll just assume that I can save that. Then I'm going to just kind of leave all the paint and everything the way it is. The hood has a big U-shaped dent in it, so I'm thinking a tree fell on it. The dash is broken and the steering wheel is bent. So what I'm thinking, I can stick like a pole in here and pry the steering wheel back up to make it, for the most part, steering wheel shaped. I could fiberglass the dash back together and then try to hammer the hood back so it at least kind of fits properly. And then kind of just leave it the condition that it's in, because I kind of like the way the, the kind of crusty look, the patina look. There's of course a bunch of moss on it, so it'll probably look better with that not there. Missing the grill corner, missing the side covers. I'll probably paint the part inside the light black on each side, the way it should be, because it's faded off. But probably just leave this one, the way it is, and just kind of have, original looking one. Has a nice seat, so that's a bonus. There's, however, nothing nice really about this next one, which is a 64, I think, from what I found. Suburban 600, David Bradley Suburban, which is awesome. I've been wanting these for a long time. I've been seeing there pretty much ever since first going there. Like, next year. And it's like, because I would always get there and go, see how bad they are and not knowing anything about them. Go, nah, I don't want them, maybe next time. So finally came up where I'm running out of the normal Suburbans to buy, that I'm like, you know what, finally getting them, and I finally got the Wheel Horse too. So this one here, the clutch seems like it's fairly complete. I don't know how any of that works, so I'm gonna have to do some research on YouTube and watch some videos and see what people are doing to get that set up and working. The steering on this one, I believe, turns, so that's awesome. The steering wheel is really cracked, but it is what it is, I guess. Original pan seat. I think it's missing the brakes, because the rest of these have brakes on each side of the gearbox, and this one here doesn't. I guess I never said what my plans is with this one. So my plans is with this one is to take one of those Briggs engines over there and stick in it, and then probably do a full restoration. So take it completely apart. New bolts, new paint, new everything, and have a fully restored Suburban 600 by the time I'm done. These I'm pretty sure are quite rare, because I've never seen this hood style before, other than looking up the Suburban 600, and there's a few people that have them. So I'm like, I have to get that, even though it's in as bad a shape as it is, just because it is kind of rare, and it's something I don't have yet, so I had to get it. And then the next one here is in way better shape. This is by far the best one out of all of them. This will be probably the first one I get running out of the David Bradley. So I'll probably take the best clutch parts off the rest of them and put them on this one, because it's got 4 tires. It's mostly complete. I mean, for the most part. But my plan is with this one is to take this hood, which has the same kind of rust on it that, the rest of the tractor does, and it's white like it should be, and put that on instead of this red hood. And probably just leave it the way it is, except for, an engine and a seat. And then just kind of have an original-ish looking one. So that'll be cool. The one next to it, the next one here, is a 59, well, 58, 59. And then I think they made it in 1960 as well as 61, but I'm just going to call it a 59, because that's, for the most part, what they all are. But who knows for sure, because there's no number plate from what I can tell. And I couldn't find any information really about these. This one is in really bad shape. The steering wheel is completely seized up, doesn't turn. It'll literally fall apart in your hands. Like here's another piece of it. So that's unfortunate. So I'm gonna have to probably get a new steering wheel for this one because it is so bad, or at least maybe break the rest of the plastic stuff off and just use the metal as the steering wheel, but we'll see. This one here, probably take it completely apart, you know, new nuts and bolts, restore everything, original-ish engine, you know, period correct at least, because I'm not going to put a Predator in this. There's no way. Just kind of, you know, restore it back to the, you know, I think it's supposed to be gold with like seafoam blue rims, and you know, go all original on it. But that's going to be a little ways in the future because I want to get some of the more easier ones going before tackling these. And then the next one here is even worse. It seems like it's getting worse the more I go down the line, but I promise you it does get better when I get to those back there. This one here is another 59. However, doesn't have a front axle, doesn't have a steering column, doesn't really have anything. I do have a seat spring and seat for it. And then, of course, I'm going to take the hood from that red hood there, from that 725, and then this front grille that I have, and I'm probably going to restore this, kind of make it into a 725, just because that's the parts I have, and that's what I kind of gathered up for it. But that's going to be a long ways coming because I got to remanufacture, you know, front axle, steering column, all of the clutch parts, quite literally everything. So that's going to be a lot of work. What is nice with it though, one thing it does have is the little hitch plate, which that's the only one that has it. Like this one's missing it, the other one's missing it, that one has a homemade hitch, and then that one's missing it. So it's the only one that has the hitch plate, so at least it has that going for it. The next one, the hood fell off. It's not even the right hood, but that's the hood I think I'm going to put on it. This is a 65 David Bradley, kind of the lesser, you know, cool ones that they've had. It had this same front grille as the Suburban 12 hood that it here has. So I think I'm going to just put this hood on it, which I'm going to set on the tractor. I set it on the tractor, but it's supposed to have that style of front end. The hood, I'm pretty sure, is supposed to taper back a little bit, but I'll probably just make a dash for it and just make this hood work, but we'll see. This one has, of course, the Vari-Drive pulley, and it has the belts, so at least I have the proper size belts it should have, so that's cool. Still don't have any idea how this works, but I know it doesn't have actual gears in the transmission, so it uses the belt Vari-Drive system to change speeds. And then I think this is part of the reverser, so it actually flips something the other way to go in reverse, but I'm gonna have to do a lot of research on that. But this one here, probably just, you know, piece it together, and because the frame at least is original-ish paint, I'll probably just leave it the way it is. But this one here, the steering, I think, yeah, that's seized up as well, so hopefully I can get that unseized. But probably just, you know, get this one going, leave it the way it is, just, you know, make it complete. Next one here is a 68 Super 12 that has a crazy story behind it. Don't know if I should say the story behind it, but I have 4 other ones that came from the same place, so I decided, you know, I probably should have the 5th one. This one is missing the seat spring. The hood and grille I pulled off 4 or 5 years ago, so it's been sitting there without a hood on it. The engine does turn, but it doesn't seem like it has any compression. So it could be, you know, a stuck ring, or a, you know, stuck ring, stuck valve, something simple. At least it turns, so it ain't completely locked up full of water. But if anything, maybe it has a good ignition coil because it has that, and I do have another HH120 to put on it. Missing the starter generator, but anyway, I guess the plan is with this one, I do have a hood and grille, is to take it all apart and fully restore it with the original engine and have a fully restored 68 SS12, like I need another one, but I'll have another one. Next one here is something I didn't really need, something I don't know what to do with, but hey, I've got it type of thing. Says it's a 77 16.6 single cylinder Tecumseh OH160, which is actually one of my favorite engines. They either seem, if I can get them running, they seem to run really good. This one here turns. Does it have compression? Doesn't appear to. That's worrying. These OH160s with the overhead valve, they're known to have, you know, some valve issues, so it could have something like that going on with it, which is a little worrying that, you know, it might not be savable. it does at least have the part of the coil that's under the flywheel, so I can use that on a different engine. It is missing the silver part, of course, but I do have a few of those. I just don't have the bottom piece, so it has that. This grill corner I found stuck inside the hood when we were unloading it, so that's kind of a bonus. Dash on this is completely destroyed. Don't even have the other pieces to it, so I can't, you know, kind of glue it back together or anything, so it's kind of just got to get replaced. Somebody took off since last time I seen it there, the gas tank and fenders. I have a set of fenders, but I don't have a gas tank. But I don't know what I'm going to do with this. This will probably just get, you know, shoved aside for now until I figure out some kind of contraption or something to make out of it, but we'll see. The next one here is another one of my favorite models, SS16. This is 74. Of course, the hood and grill was missing off of it, so I ended up with this hood and grill, which is an ST16 hood. My plan is with this tractor is to put an opposed twin of some kind in it, or a V-twin, and just, you know, have another, you know, original-ish looking SS16. I'll have to make out of sheet metal a new hood because this hood isn't long enough. But at least I have, you know, the fiberglass and the lower grill to start with. Fiberglass that's really badly broken, but I can repair that. On the seat is some miscellaneous pulleys, which I got out of their new parts trailer, so that's kind of nice to have. I got three of those idler pulleys, and then this 3/4 inch pulley for a Predator 212 that I have. I'm going to put in something. And then, of course, ST16 toolbox that was just sitting there. And then this orange hitch plate that was just sitting there. And I actually need that orange hitch plate, so that's a bonus. That I actually needed a nice orange one, so that's cool. I guess my plan is with this one, I might have said it already, is basically just to kind of, you know, leave the paint and everything the way it is, just clean it up, put an engine in it, you know, get it going, have a nice, you know, nice one that runs, I guess. We'll go to the other Sears and then I'll finish with the Wheel Horse. This one here, I don't really know what to do with other than this front spindle, I believe, is the problem. It doesn't turn, meaning the tires are kind of stuck the way it is. The steering column at least turns. That's the important thing, because if those are seized up, you may or may not get that loose. And the gear down there turns, so that's awesome. This one here, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to leave it. I don't really like the way it looks. It'd be cool if I could get all the repaint green off and get it down to the original, and then clean that original paint up, and then have another original 68, but we'll see. This engine, if I remember right, turns, but doesn't really have compression. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Hopefully between that engine there and then that one, I can get one out of the two going, because I do have, of course, that other HH100 or HH120 to put in one of them. This one has the fan shroud and everything, so that means it has the ignition. You know, assuming I can save that, which, you know, may or may not work. But has a nice, you know, patina hood. No seat, but I do have a seat. But yeah, probably just, I don't know, either clean this one up, restore it someday, I don't really know for sure. But hey, I've got it, type of thing. The next one here is something I've been wanting for a long time. Not this exact model, I wanted the slightly older one, but I got it's sometime made in the mid-90s from what I could find, so it's a lot newer than anything else here. It's a 416H, it's a Toro wheel horse, and I really didn't want one that said Toro. So I think what I'm going to do with this is, of course, get it running. This has must have a 16 horse Onan, which don't know if I tried anything with this. This is going to be a little tricky. Well, I got it to move, so it at least turned a little bit. But anyway, is to at least get it running. This will probably be one of the first videos I do. And I'm going to definitely repaint it because it is a little crummy and I don't really like the way it looks. And I'm probably going to turn it into whatever model. Somebody help me out here if you're a wheel horse person. Whatever model would be equivalent to this that doesn't have the Toro logo on it, because I don't want the Toro logo on it. I just want it to say wheel horse. I would put whatever decals that is on it, which I got to figure out what that is, and then, you know, get decals when time comes, and kind of, you know, take it all apart, you know, restore it, type of a thing. Fixed the mower deck, which somebody cut this hole in it for some reason. It's a rear discharge deck. Somebody cut a hole in the side of it. I took off a seat bracket off of a different one. It's not even the right seat bracket, but it's the only thing that looked like it would kind of fit, so I took that off to have something for it at least. It actually, now that I see it, it kind of looks like maybe it will fit, because these two holes here line up with these two holes, and then the same side, yeah, should line up here also, so maybe it does fit. I don't know, I took it off a vertical shaft one, so I was assuming it wasn't going to fit, and then I have to get inventive with it, but I don't know, it might fit. It is a hydro, so that's awesome. I like hydros. So another thing I don't really like about it is the steering wheel. That's a really bad looking steering wheel. I don't know who designed that or what they were thinking, but I don't really like that. So I'll probably switch out the steering wheel with one that looks like that, because I do have one of those steering wheels. And, you know, repaint it. Put just Wheel Horse decals on it without saying Toro. And, I don't know. My original plan with these was to keep them for a while and then sell them. Just like, you know, I had them. Doesn't matter, you know, anymore, because, hey, I had them, because they're not really my thing. But after seeing them, I really like how they're designed. I like how they're built. They're really heavy duty. So, I don't know. I might be getting into something else here. It does have something else that's a bonus, which is a hydraulic power lift. Because there's looks like here a hydraulic valve. So I see a hydraulic cylinder. Oh my, fancy. But I'll get to that when the time comes. I really got excited now that it has a power lift. That is so cool. I didn't even realize that. It has an hour meter. How many hours are on it? Let's see, 806 hours, and a volt gauge too. Wow, this thing is fancy. What else does it have? Oops, hitting the camera and everything. It has little lights that tells you stuff. Wow. Choke works. Throttle moves. Might have ourselves a winner here. So I'm really excited now that I see everything that's going on. It's got dash lights, 2-hour gauge, and everything. Wow. I'm excited for that one now. The final tractor is a sometime mid-70s Wheel Horse C120. I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to have this Kohler Magnum in it. Pretty sure it's supposed to have a single-cylinder Kohler, maybe a 12-horse going by the sticker, but I don't know for sure. I don't really know anything about these. But what I was thinking, if this isn't the original engine, which I don't think it is from looking up pictures of it, is I'm going to take this engine, because it does turn and have compression. I'm going to put it in that SS16, because it'd be cool to have a Kohler Magnum in an SS16, and then repower this with some Chinese Honda clone or something, probably. This one is a stick shift, so it's kind of like a Sears, where it has, you know, the 3 speeds here, and then the high and low. So it's almost the same, but not, you know, not really, but kind of. Steering on this steers nice and smooth. Hood doesn't fit right, because for some reason that air cleaner is on upside down, which is concerning. However, the engine does turn. The clutch, it does have this clutch thing for a mower deck, even though I don't have the mower deck. But it is missing like a couple of nuts here, I'm thinking. And then, I don't know, it's just a really interesting clutch setup, and I kind of like it compared to the Sears. Well, it does have the belt twist like the Sears does. But instead of using the belt, you know, to tension the belt for the clutch, it actually has a proper clutch, which is kind of a nice upgrade, actually. Less chances of the belt flying off when you disengage it. But the plan is with this one, I guess, I might have already said it, is to probably take that engine, if it's not the original, put in that SS16, repower it with something else, just clean it up and leave it the way it is, because it's in really nice shape. Unfortunately, this headlight lens is messed up. I don't think it was like that when I got it. I think something hit it on the way home, which really sucks. But I could probably make something, you know, clear to go there to, you know, kind of replace it. But we'll see. So very last thing is miscellaneous parts. I've got out of the new parts trailer that they got, 2 8-horsepower Briggs. I'm going to definitely put those in the David Bradley. They turn and have compression. Sitting outside right now is the first time they've been outside as far as I know, so I'm gonna bring them inside after this video. And then when I was doing the walk, taking pictures, you know, getting, you know, prepared for the walk around video, I found this little tiny engine, and it was just, you know, too cute to not get, I guess. So I ended up with it. It does turn. I don't feel anything turning it, but I just thought it was too cool not to get, so I ended up with it. Got it as a package deal with, I think, these tires and something else. I think I got this engine, these tires, and then those egg tires as a package deal for an extra price, but I'm not going to say what that is. I don't know what it is. It kind of looks like a Briggs, but I don't know. I mean, it has a Briggs looking carburetor. I don't know, maybe somebody in the comments can tell me. It's a really cool fuel system. I've never seen, I mean, that's like a hard line fuel. That is so strange. Has a fuel pump, has a coupler. I don't know. That's a cool engine. Not really good for anything because it is only probably like 3 horsepower, but it's at least cool to look at. Maybe get running just to kind of play around with. And then I've got a Sears rear end, which was sitting there, so I'm like, you know what, I gotta get it because it's just sitting there. It has the pulley, it has the cover, which I don't use. It has the 2 little pieces for the high and low range lever. It even has this little part that goes on the clutch pedal, parking brake lever. It has everything. The brake is shot, so I'll have to replace that. Shift's nice, so that's a nice transmission to have. While I was putting the tires, because this Wheel Horse was missing the rear tires, while I was putting those tires on, I seen these tires sitting there, so I ended up with those too as part of the deal. Steering wheel somebody cut off, so they must not have watched one of my videos on how to remove a steering wheel, because they didn't save the steering wheel, they just chopped it. So I'll have to, you know, do my thing that I do with the steering wheel and get that apart, get the steering shaft out of there, and I can reuse that steering wheel. Of course, a whole bunch of seats, the seat spring for that Super 12, some side shrouds along with this piece. Just kind of miscellaneous stuff. Kind of egg looking front tires, so those would be cool to put on something. Simplicity rear end, which that can go actually in a Sears because it'll fit in a like a Sears Hydro. And then of course this, which was, I guess this was part of the second, because you know, the more I'm there, the more stuff I add on, like, hey, I want this, this, and this. So I got added on that hood, added on these tires, and that engine as, you know, for an extra fee. I guess here's the shroud for that OH160 along with the PTO cover for it, or mule drive cover, I mean. But that is the haul for this year. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I can't wait to get started on them. I think I'm going to start with that Wheel Horse back there first, because I'm really want to, you know, see more about that now that I know that it's got power lift and everything. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what you think, and there'll be more coming soon. Thanks for watching.